So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the pooling examples on page 87 of the AAPL Oil and Gas Land Reference Guide. And we're just going to walk through these examples so you'll understand how pooling works and the impact that it can have on how a lease is held. So the question reads, the 80-acre oil declaration of pooling was filed on April 5th, 84, 4584, in the following situations. What effect does pooling and the described operations have on leases A, B, C, and D? And in your book it shows a section, and in the northwest quarter is lease A, which expires on 6/1/84. Then right next to it in the northeast quarter is lease B, which expires on 8/15/84. In the southwest quarter is lease C, which expires on 8/30/84. And then finally in the southeast quarter is lease D, which expires on 3/1/85. Our oil unit covers 80 acres in part 40 acres of A and 40 acres of C. And the question is, let's say the spud was 5/1/84, so drilling started on May 1st, 1984, and it was completed as an oil well on August 15th, 84. The question is, what effect does pooling have on these operations on leases A, B, C, and D? Well, since A is pooled with lease C, at least part of lease A is, and the well was drilled on lease C, because it's pooled, that well is going to hold all the acreage on and all the royalty owners on lease A and lease C. So as a result of this spud, and because it was spud on 5/1/84, and this lease doesn't expire until June 1st, 84, and lease C doesn't expire until August 30th, 84, lease A is going to be held by production because it was pooled with the interest on lease C. Now let's look at lease B. Lease B is still in the primary term, but there was no activity. This pooling, in other words, has no impact on this well in lease B. But we know that the lease doesn't expire until 84, so we're going to say that this lease is still valid. So it's still in the primary term. But the pooling has no effect. Now let's look at lease C. Lease C, we know, is pooled with lease A, and that means, and it doesn't expire until August 30th, so this well that was spud in May is spud before it expires in August, so that lease is also going to be HBP, held by production. And so lease C and lease A are both held by production. Lease D over here is still in its primary term. It doesn't expire until March 1st of 1985. But this pooling has no impact on that. So we're going to say it's still in the primary term. And the pooling has no effect. So that's the answer to A number 1. Now let's move on to A number 2.